2.5 years ago when we came here to plant trees and paint the walls. And some of the walls are still painted that we did. Kids that graduated last year. And when we were here, we found out that these kids were starving. They were malnourished. That the food that the government gives them a certain allotment of food for the year, had run out. So when I found out about that, I went up to the teachers and I'm like, well, tell me what you need. And I was just going to go buy the food for the rest of the year. Well, one of my students overheard me talking to the teacher. And they're like, no, Kyle, wait, we want to help. We want to help. And from that, then we went immediately back to the thing. We took up a collection. We bought a truckload of food. Enough food, actually, about 4 months of food for these kids to last them through. For a lot of these kids, the only meal they get is what they get at school. As you saw, I'm sure you saw that a lot of these kids can't socialize very well because they have a complete absence. They don't get affection at home. They don't get physical contact. A lot of them are struck. A lot of them are treated very poorly. So this truly is the highlight. So from that, the idea of buying them food, then we saw this, and I want all the newer kids to walk in here. This has been cleaned up a lot, but this is their old kitchen. And they cleaned it up. When I got here, originally, there was feces on the floor, poop, animal poop. This was their old kitchen with all of this in here. This is the same, except there was a couple stoves over here, and there was poop on the floor. There was stuff all over the walls, right? This is their old kitchen. This is where they ate. Everybody take a look at that. It's been cleaned up, but you'll still get the idea. It's good to look at it. That, you know what, we can fix this. This, we can fix. So we went home, the kids, last year you saw the Picalqui Cup. Last year you saw us selling pizza every week. Last year you saw the raffle that we did. All these different things. And I also went home and with my friends and family, we raised a bunch of money. The product of that money is the fencing that you see along so that farm animals can't come into the thing and come into the yard and leave their feces here. The fence around the garden, which we'll walk to in a minute, and then primarily that. That is the product of 2.5 years of work. It's not done yet, but it's very close to being done. They're doing the roof tomorrow. They're having the minga to finish the roof. The doors and the windows were just here. Those are done. They're going to be installed. We're going to have the bars along the windows. And ideally, in the future, we're going to have tables and chairs so that they can sit and eat. But that is the result. After seeing this, my group of kids, the Picalqui kids, decided that that was unacceptable. No one should have to eat in those conditions. So the goal was first to satisfy the most fundamental need, which is make sure that they eat. You can't learn if you haven't eaten in 2 days and your stomach hurts. How can you concentrate on learning when your stomach hurts? Because it's empty. So we satisfy the food, and then we give them hygienic conditions to eat. Part of that, now that's the kitchen, right? Let's take a look at it. Right? We don't come here. We certainly play with the kids, but we've always worked. Picalqui Care Day means that we get our hands dirty and we sweat. But we're at a point in construction where we really can't do anything. We got to leave it to the experts. But we dug all of this around the foundation. My kids did, right? We bought all the cement, all the blocks. We've done this. The product of collaboration of students and teachers and people who care, right? We have so much. It takes so little for us to dramatically change these kids' lives. They're going to have a clean place to eat. That's the kitchen part where the stove is, which I have a stove donated. I'm working on a refrigerator. That's where it's going to be, where they make the food, and they're going to come in here in food rooms, where they're going to sit, 20 kids at a time. They're going to eat. Right now they eat on the ground. They eat on the ground. That's where they eat. So they're going to have a proper cafeteria to eat, things that we don't even think about. These kids go through. From here then, we did all this, all the fencing you see outside, let's go outside, I'll show you the garden. The garden that they have, the food from this garden goes directly to what they eat in the cafeteria. Their original garden is right there, that little tiny piece there, you can see the old fence. So we said, you know what, we have to satisfy their fundamental need of getting enough food. So we thought, well, you know what, let's make them self-sufficient. Let's build them a garden, right? It's a simple thing. So we expanded from that little garden to this garden. Right, you can see they've cleaned this. At one time, this was completely plowed. We put this barbed wire fence up. We put all the barbed wire fences around the entire school, like kids did. We dug the holes, we wrapped the wire, etc. We stained the poles, we bought the poles, right, to keep the animals out. This isn't planted, but they have problems with water here. It's very, very dry. To get water to irrigate, they have to pay for it. So Edwin has promised me that this will be used. They've started that second part of the garden now. By the next time that we come, this will be planted. The idea is they can grow their own food. They will always have enough to eat, but they can grow their own food. So this is 2 years of work. Hopefully we can finish. Next year. That's it, man. It doesn't take. Change is like when you throw a rock into a pond. When it lands, it just radiates out, right? It creates those little waves. That's all changing. People say that one person can't change the world. I don't think that's true. I think one person can. One person change starts with you. You change those around you. Those people change those around you. Just like the pond gets wider and wider. Look at what we've done, right? It can be done. So these things, yeah, they seem impossible, but if we've learned anything through this project, through the 2.5 years, is that if you try, if you put your mind to it, if you look people square in the eye and you say that you're going to do something and you do it, then anything is possible. And I'm not just saying that some idealistic gringo. I really believe that we can change the world. And I hope that you guys, being part of this project, see that you can change the world. After all, it always starts with you.